Hello, this is Crystal Racing here today. On the 6th of September 2020, we saw a fantastic Formula 1 race. A race that literally happened through pure chance and luck alone. Today, I have been so privileged to watch the 2020 Italian Grand Prix and for 24-year-old Pierre Gasly to win his maiden Grand Prix win today in an AlphaTauri, aka Minardi. 12 years ago, this team, when they were called Toro Rosso, won their first ever race with Sebastian Vettel at his very venue at Monza. A truly special day. That day was back in 2008, and today is just as special. Man, I was screaming, I was shouting for almost 2 hours. I've only just calmed down. And you know what? For the past 2 months, I've been begging for gimmicks, I've been begging for all sorts of stupid ideas, reverse grid, budget caps, all sorts of ridiculous nonsense. But today is special because it actually happened through a mixture of human error, total luck, extreme confusion, just honestly Grand Prix at its finest. And I've got to say this is the sort of race that makes all the 20, 30, 40 odd boring races we'll see over the years worth it. This is the sort of race that makes having to endure this Mercedes domination so bearable. It's days like this that I really do watch Formula 1 for, because the fact of the matter is, Formula 1 is not actually an entertaining sport. It's boring beyond belief. So when races like these happen, it is special. It is amazing. You feel like $1 million. These are the sort of races that aren't supposed to happen all the time. And yes, I know some people agree, disagree. You're free to agree with me, but here are some statistics. This is the first French Grand Prix race winner since Olivier Panis at the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix. Of course, Pierre Gasly was only 3 months old when that happened. This is the first time that a team that is not Ferrari, Mercedes or the Red Bull teams have won a race since the 2013 Australian Grand Prix when Kimi Raikkonen won. This is the first podium without a Ferrari car, a Mercedes car or a Red Bull car since the 2012 Hungarian Grand Prix, because of course Lewis Hamilton won for McLaren and Kimi and Romain Grosjean finished second and third for Lotus. This is the 31st consecutive race where Mercedes have led one lap, equaling the all-time record of Williams since who said back in 95 and 97. Okay, that's probably not one that you care about. This is Lewis Hamilton's 50th fastest lap. Yeah, he's pulling ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in the all-time fastest lap records. That's not something I'm happy about. And bizarrely enough, if you look at the tyre graphic for Pirelli, the hard tyres set the fastest lap. Of course, Lewis Hamilton was on a charge, so that's to be expected. But interestingly enough, the medium compound set a faster lap than the soft compounds, about a second faster. I mean, Lewis Hamilton again set the fastest medium compound lap. Of course, the fastest overall lap was done on hard tyres, weirdly enough. But Lewis Hamilton was also fast. But not only that, Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll did faster laps than the fastest lap set on the soft compounds, which was Esteban Ocon, which was on 1 minute 24.49. The medium compounds, 1 minute 23.5 for Hamilton, 1 minute 23.88 for Sainz, and 1 minute 23.897 for Stroll. And then of course the overall fastest lap, 1 minute 22.74 for Lewis Hamilton. Really strange, really bizarre race. Of course, Kimi Raikkonen, as you saw, he was up in second place, but of course he was using the soft compounds. Massive tactical error. I will get on to that because, of course, I'm going to finally get on to the crystal score. Pierre Gasly, I'm giving you 12 out of 10. I never saw, 13 months ago, you got demoted back to the Toro Rosso slash AlphaTauri team. I wrote you off. I thought you were going to get kicked out of Formula 1 at the end of 2019. I thought, nah, Pierre Gasly hasn't got what it takes. We had an easy teammate in Brendan Hartley, hence making him look good. And Pierre Gasly, I really thought was down and out. I thought, what, this guy isn't even as good as Lance Stroll. Forget about it. Kick him out. 13 months on, a maiden podium at Brazil last year and his maiden Grand Prix win in an AlphaTauri. The first car that is not a Ferrari, a Mercedes, a Red Bull to win a race in 7.5 years. Extraordinary. 12 out of 10. Controlled the race perfectly, at the restart, got the perfect start, stayed behind Lewis, and then once Lewis pulled into the pits for his stop-go penalty, floored it and maintained a fantastic composure under pressure, kept Carlos Sainz at bay for the last 15 odd laps, even though Sainz's McLaren was clearly faster, but Pierre Gasly did not allow his concentration to waver, did not panic, did exactly what he had to do under pressure. A fantastic performance. This is going to go down as one of the greatest races I've ever seen, along with the 2005 Japanese Grand Prix, 2011 Canada, and of course last year's 2019 German Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly, I really do hope you have an amazing career. You deserve to go on and win many races. I mean, maybe you might never win again, but if you never win again, I will remember you for this performance. Just extraordinary. And besides, you know what? You're going to go down as a cult hero of some sorts, Pierre Gasly, because your tenacity, your willingness to fight back since being demoted of Red Bull is just unbelievably special. We see, your teammate Danny Kvyat got demoted back to Red Bull 4 years ago. I mean, yes, I know Kvyat sometimes putting good performances here and there, but has he really bounced back on a consistent basis? I have to say no, and I'm going to get on to him later. Second place, Carlos Sainz, 10 out of 10. Qualified P3. Got up to second at the start because, of course, Bottas is Bottas. I'll get on to him next soon. Carlos Sainz, though, I think McLaren were a little bit tardy with the pit strategy. Of course, the safety car, the red flag threw them off a bit. Carlos Sainz, though, I have to say, I think the Renault power unit didn't quite give him enough run against the AlphaTauri's Honda engine. Carlos did what he did, and, Carlos, you're going to have to savour this because you're not going to be going on the podium next year in that Ferrari. Definitely not. Enjoy this for what this is because you're in for a tough 18 months or so. Third place, I almost forgot he was in the race. It was Lance Stroll getting his second ever podium in Formula 1. Yeah, this is probably a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. I'm going to give him 8 out of 10 because, with that racing point, you would expect a straight line speed and Mercedes engine to give him a real advantage against the AlphaTauris and the McLaren at the restart, but then he sank away. He got overtaken by Giovinazzi and Sainz and Kimi. Really tardy restart, really not good, and that wrecked it all, really, because, yeah, I mean, I suppose, he did a good job looking after the tyres, maintaining third place. But I have to say, though, overall, Lance Stroll has had a very good season. Real massive improvement. Yes, we got out-qualified by Sergio Perez, which, bizarrely enough, is the first time Lance Stroll has ever been out-qualified by a teammate during his F1 career at this circuit. This is a circuit Lance Stroll really excels at. I mean, 3 years ago, he did qualify P2. He finished 7th in the race, but still, this guy loves this circuit. And, if I was Lance Stroll, yeah, I could kind of tell his look at his face after the race. You could tell in his eyes, he knew he could have won. And I have to say, he could have won. I think he did scrub a little bit, but, he'll learn because Lance Stroll's attitude has improved so much over the past 18 months. He's no longer sulking, he's no longer crying when things go wrong. I'm actually pleased for him. Second podium, well deserved, Lance. Well done. Oh man, it's already been 10 minutes. Fourth place, Lando Norris, 8 out of 10. Got outpaced by Carlos all weekend. You know, great result. I know I haven't really got much to say because I wasn't really paying much attention to Lando. Sorry about that. But on to the guy who finished 5th. Valtteri Bottas. 5th. In a Mercedes. You're finishing 5th in a Mercedes. What are you doing in that seat? Honestly, you're only there because you don't challenge Lewis at all. It's a solid 2 out of 10 for me. And frankly, you're lucky that you're not getting rejected the day award because someone else did way worse than you. Far worse than you. I don't want to turn this into a Valtteri hate rant, but, you know, a dreadful start, getting beat by Sainz off the grid, then got overtook by Lando Norris, and then lost another 2 places and was running 6th by lap 2. What the hell, Valtteri? You've had an absolute stinker. Abysmal, really. And, of course, you only finished about 10 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. We'll get on to him in a bit. In 6th place, Daniel Ricciardo, 7 out of 10. Did an okay job all weekend. Qualified okay-ish. Not much to say, to be honest. You know, overtook Kimi. That's all I really saw you do all day today. Yeah, I mean, he did an okay job. Not really much to say. But on other news, Renault will be called Alpine F1 next year, for those of you who didn't hear. 7th place, Lewis Hamilton, 7 out of 10. Got that 10-second stop-go penalty because he ignored the red light at the start of the pit lane. Wow, that screams 2008 Canada all over again. Of course, that time, though, he mucked up even further and crashed into Kimi. Yeah, I'm still angry about that 12 years later. You know, 7 out of 10, but for Lewis Hamilton, bit of a schoolboy error missing that red light, meaning that he had to go into the pits, take a 10-second stop-go penalty, but did a fantastic job getting through the field in a Mercedes that is set up to just lead from the front. And considering your teammate Valtteri just got stuck behind Lando Norris for the rest of the race, he did fairly well in comparison. And now you have a 47-point lead in the championship. You're going to become a 7-time world champion. Well, there's no excitement for the championship. I just hope for the rest of the year to have crazy moments like this again. 8th place, Esteban Ocon, 7 out of 10. Took a bit of time to get past Kimi's Alfa Romeo tractor, I've got to say. I'm not really impressed. 7, 6, I don't really know what to give you, Ocon. You were a bit tentative, but I suppose Kimi was getting really angry by the time he got overtaken by Ricciardo. And Kimi decided, you know what, I don't want my pride to be battered by getting overtaken by a youngster like Esteban. So, you know, good job getting 8th place. And, but of course, you know, you lost too much time behind Kimi, meaning that Lewis was always going to get you when he saw you. But you did create a little bit of a buffer for Ricciardo to finish 6th, though. So I suppose the team are kind of happy for you that you did that, if you think about it, but maybe not. 9th place, the teammate of the driver who won the race, Danny Kvyat. What can I say? 7 out of 10. You got to be unlucky with, you know, the whole kerfuffle with the safety car and the red flag. You know, the pit stop sequence is really quite confusing. I'm not sure what happened, but somehow you ended up miles down the order. Really unlucky, mate. But you know what this feels like? It really does feel like you're going to be out of F1 with this sort of result, because Pierre Gasly, I think, is now on 43 points. And you're now only got 4 points for the season. I know Gasly got a big 25 points for his win today, but oh man, that looks... I mean, yes, I know, big fluky result for Gasly, but your days are numbered, Danny Kvyat. You know, Ocon really did not drive that well today, but you really just kind of drove a conservative race once again. I mean, I don't know what's going on with you anymore, Danny. And with Robert Schwartzman probably coming into Formula 1, it's not like, you know, Putin and Russia need you around anymore, because let's be honest, you're all kind of average. You know, nice lad, but you're just an average driver. I'm sorry to say that. 10th place, Sergio Perez, 6 out of 10. Qualified P4. Had a dreadful start. Really did not get the rub of the green in the race. Really, the whole kerfuffle mid-race messed you up. And then, of course, you know, you had contact with Max Verstappen. Don't know what happened to your car. Apparently, your fans were moaning about your amount of bad luck. But today, though, you really were just average. And I have to say, with your teammate finished on the podium today, and with Sebastian Vettel still rumoured to be coming to Racing Point or Aston Martin, depending on how you see it, Perez is really going to be struggling to keep hold of that seat for next season. Man. 11th place was Nicholas Latifi. What a fantastic race by the Canadian today. 9th place in what is the Williams family's final Grand Prix. In having any involvement in Formula 1, having been there since 1967. Farewell, Claire and Frank. Thank you for all the memories and all that. But Nicholas Latifi did himself justice. You know, yes, he qualified behind his teammate George Russell, but in the race, he absolutely destroyed him. He ripped him to shreds today. Yes, George Russell still hasn't been out-qualified by a teammate yet, but Nicholas Latifi absolutely did a right number on him today. Well deserved, and you did take a bit of time to get past Kimi, but, you know, I think Kimi was really, 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 really seriously furious by the time he saw you. He was thinking, no way, I'm not getting overtaken by Williams. Hence why you made it so tough for you. 12th place was Romain Grosjean, 7 out of 10. You felt you had to start last in the red flag restart. Don't really know what happened to you, to be honest, but I did see a skid mark on your car when you were going back to the grid. So I think you were involved in something, but I didn't see because I don't really expect you to do that well today, but today you did well, so I'll give you 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. I'll give you 8 out of 10 because I'm probably never going to give you a good score ever again, but to be honest, it does feel like your days in F1 are number 2, and unfortunately, the guy in 13th, his days are probably numbered in Formula 1. Kimi Räikkönen, I'll give him 7 out of 10. Started, what was it, 3rd at the restart, was ahead of Giovinazzi. The soft tyres absolutely shredded themselves to pieces. Kimi was a helpless passenger against about the 10 or so cars that overtook him. Alfa Romeo's pit strategy is absolutely rubbish. I cannot be arsed. Kimi, just please retire from F1 at the end of this year. I've had enough of watching you get absolutely effed around now. I mean, if you want a medium tyres, you might have got a solid points finish, but Alfa Romeo being Alfa Romeo, I should actually say Sauber. Sauber being Sauber were clueless yet again. Today was such a good chance to get a solid points haul. But of course, you know, as I will get on to later with Giovinazzi, they really screwed up. What the hell is wrong with that team? I'm so sick of that team. 8th place, they're still in 8th place in the Constructors' Championship, but when you look at the sort of tactics they pull out, they really should be deserved to be lower than that. I'm so sick. Please, Kimi, just get out of F1 at the end of this year. I don't want to watch you stuff like this anymore. 14th place was George Russell, 5 out of 10. If I'm going to be frankly honest, he's probably driven one of probably the worst Formula 1 race I've ever seen from him from his 18th old F1 career. You know, he got beat by his teammate, never looked on it, just really struggled with the car today. I'm not going to rip into it because, you know, he's an outstanding prospect, but today was one of those days George Russell really, really struggled. 15th place was Alex Albon, 1 out of 10. His racecraft is really shocking. Yes, I know he has the ability to pull off some amazing moves, but his overall racecraft is actually garbage. You know, he got nerfed off the track by Pierre Gasly because, you know, he decided to try and hang around the outside at the first chicane. And then, of course, later on he went and, I don't know, decided to shove Romain Grosjean off the track. Okay, it was only a slight nudge, but it was a well-warranted 5-second penalty. Another sign that his racecraft is awful. And then once he was... but then after that, you know, the pits... Yes, I know Red Bull mucked his pit strategy when the red flag safety car kerfuffle appeared, But, in a Red Bull, what are you doing finishing 15th? 15th! Both Williamses, Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen beat you today. I'm not even sure you'd even deserve to be demoted to AlphaTauri next year. Just get out of Formula 1. Forget about it. You're not good enough. I see nothing from him. I mean, I'm absolutely lost for words. It's just a horrific performance. Second fastest car on the grid and you're finishing 15th. I mean, I don't know what's going on at Red Bull. I mean, whether they're demoralising him, whether he's been... I mean, yes, I know Red Bull have admitted that, he's been forced to use second-hand parts, like all the old parts, because Max keeps getting new parts. But, if Alex Albon was any good, he would be able to be in the fight to get some of the newer parts. But as far as Red Bull are concerned, you're just a guinea pig, mate, and I don't really know what else to say. 1 out of 10, you're the reject of the race. I don't want to give you that award because I've got an even nastier award for a certain team and a certain team principal coming up next. And, of course, the last finisher of the race, Antonio Giovinazzi, 5 out of 10. Made a little bit of a schoolboy error missing that red light at the start of the pit lane. But, I suppose when you're the level of driver you are, you were always going to make that sort of mistake. And as it was, once you served your penalty, you did nothing. I mean, I just don't really care about you anymore. You're going to be out of F1 with quite a lot of other drivers at the end of this year. Could be even more drivers if you think about it, because let's be honest, Schwartzman, Schumacher, I don't deserve a seat, and you really should not be standing in their way anymore. Like, seriously. I mean, yes, you could kind of blame the team, but you're not doing a good job yourself, mate. So yeah, there's that. And on to the retirees. Charles Leclerc, 7 out of 10. I'm not gonna pin any blame with what's going on at the moment at Ferrari, because man, I was absolutely terrified when I saw Leclerc crash. I just sat there and thought, oh my goodness me, what in the world happened to that car? Apparently it was not a brake failure, but I don't know what happened. It just seemed as if Leclerc actually was pushing too hard at the exit of Parabolica and crashed. And as for Sebastian Vettel, 7 out of 10, his brakes failed. That's entirely Ferrari's fault, and I'm going to say this now. I'm going to invent 2 brand new awards today. The Circus of the Day award will go to Scuderia Ferrari, because they're no longer just a bunch of clowns. They are the entire circus. And I'm going to give them that award for the rest of every race until the end of this season, and probably until the end of 2021, because they're just a joke. I mean, to be honest, if it wasn't for Leclerc's frightening crash, I would be laughing even harder, but that team needs a root and brand investigation all over. Everyone needs to be reviewed, apart from the drivers, from Matteo Binotto to the tea lady, to the mechanics, to the engineers. Everyone who works at that team needs their position to be reviewed, and Naki Rueda needs to be sacked. I mean, I know he hasn't exactly contributed any kerfuffles recently, but he did contribute to last week's kerfuffle where neither Leclerc nor Vettel had a clue what the strategy was at all. That's just appalling. That is sackable. Get out of that team, please, because the fact of the matter is, in a normal race, it is just Hamilton, Bottas and Verstappen up front and no one else challenging them. And you, Ferrari, are the only team who have the money to be able to challenge them. So you need to sort your house out. But I'm not going to get too angry today because I'm in a fantastic mood today. But I will also invent a new award today, and that is the Clown of the Day. It can only go to you, the curly-whirly idiot with those silly round glasses, Matteo Binotto. Get out of that team! And then, of course, the other two retirees, I may say, Max Verstappen, 7 out of 10. His car broke down, don't know what happened. He was running 6th, 7th. He had a terrible start, didn't qualify well either, qualified P5, fell to 7th place. Then the car failed. I'm not going to dig into him because, you know, he's been fantastic so far this season. But today was just a bad day at the office where everything went wrong. And I suppose this circuit isn't really suited the Red Bull, so I don't think it'd be fair for me to be harsh on Max Verstappen whatsoever. And then, of course, the man who caused the safety car. Yes, Kevin Magnussen. I'm going to give you 10 out of 10 because if it wasn't for you, this race would have been as you were. Lewis Hamilton running away at the front, and then, I don't know, the two McLarens on the podium. Not that it would have been that particularly exciting to watch. But thanks to you, and thanks to Charles Leclerc's crash, this race just absolutely sprang into life. Thank you, Formula 1, for holding a fantastic race today. Forget about all the moaning and whining I've been doing this year. Today makes up for all of it. Thank and well done to you, Pierre Gasly, you absolute star. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.